is a throwback to the classic, to what started it all, the Megalodon proof video. Now, this might surprise you, but I have never watched my original viral Megalodon proof video all the way through. Never once. Even when I was editing it for the first time 3-something years ago, I did not watch the full thing through. So, I am going to go back and criticize myself as a reactor, as someone who had never reacted to a YouTube video before, as someone who did not even really have a fish YouTube channel and just saw this video, thought it was dumb, and wanted to talk about it. I'm going to react to the video that made me go viral and started basically my whole YouTube career. I have never watched it all the way through, and I thought it would be fun to try. So I'm probably going to cringe a lot because this is me 3 years ago, and if you've ever watched a video of yourself even like a few months ago, you cringe constantly. So me 3 years ago, this is going to be a little bit rough, so just forgive me as I cringe through this entire video, but I hope it's entertaining. So basically, I came across this video called 15 Reasons the Megalodon... Okay, can we talk about the hair? I mean, I know I don't have any hair now, but what the fuck is going on there, man? I mean, that just looks bad. Same headset, though. Same headset. It's a nice headset. Shark may still exist. And I watched it out of morbid curiosity, just like, hey, I wonder what this video has to say. Obviously, the Megalodon doesn't still exist, but I guess there are some things you could say, you know, in favor of maybe it still exists. The audio is so bad on this video. I mean, listen, I know my mic isn't exactly incredible now, but like this is like peaking and it has so many high-pitched noises. Oh my god, look at the people in chat. What a throwback. This is crazy. I do think it's interesting that I'm starting the video by like trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, because I used to do that. I used to watch these videos and try to give the people who made them the benefit of the doubt, and then I realized that that was probably a bad idea and started just going in with bad assumptions and have been proven right every time. Whatever. I guess there are some things you could say. So I was curious how they could come up with 15 reasons, and the first 2 were horrible. So I stopped the video and I said, I want to react to this on stream in character as a fish biologist. Saying in character was probably bad for my reputation. What I meant is that normally on stream I did gaming things at the time. I worked as a fish biologist, but I didn't do YouTube as a fish biologist. So I was just saying, like, I'll react to it as a fish biologist rather than as my normal self, because I don't think I'm going to enjoy this. I'd also like to point out, it is made by a channel called Faxopedia, which is probably the single most misleading name you can give your channel. I mean, that's horrible. It's like naming your channel The Cooking Channel and then only playing video games. Like, Faxopedia could not be further from what this actually means. But anyways, we won't prejudge. Maybe the first 2 reasons were bad, and there are some other good reasons why the Megalodon is still... Have we ever watched another... People have clowned on Faxopedia endlessly because of this video. I don't think we've ever watched another Faxopedia video alive. I'll share at the end what is probably the best reason, or like 2 best reasons. They're not good, by the way. They're very, very bad reasons. But if you have to come up with some reason that the Megalodon, the giant prehistoric shark, is still alive, there are a couple that are, I guess, passable in more of like a we don't know kind of way. Am I crazy, or have I got worse at entertaining? I'm more animated now, but I feel like I was a better explainer back then, maybe. Well, no, I've definitely got better, like, at science communication. Maybe it's just that, like, I'm speaking calmly, and my instinct is that, like, scientists who talk like that are more, like, believable and respectable. I don't know. I feel like now I come off as more of an entertainer than a scientist, and in this video I came off as more of a scientist, and the video just happened to be entertaining. You got less nerdy in a good way, but see, I didn't get less nerdy. I got significantly more nerdy. I just got better at communicating that in like a gym bro kind of way, if that makes sense.
It's far, far too big to be considered a normal or ordinary great white.
Here we go.
Can ultimately grow up to 20 feet in length. This shark appears to be much, much bigger. Raising the...
All right, so first thing we're going to need to talk about when it comes to video evidence of a fucking megalodon. God, I was so much more patient. I would have already just been clowning on the video, and I'm doing my best here to like people, you know, all right, let's talk about scale in the ocean and how you can't tell the size of things. By the way, first thing that we need to talk about is scale. Because you know what's crazy about the ocean? Not a lot of people know this, but the ocean has this one really crazy, you know, factor about it. It's made completely of water. And water doesn't have a scale. Bro, I was funnier.
You can put something in the ocean and you don't know how big that thing is. You have absolutely nothing to compare it to other than water. And there's no scale to water.
And since nobody has been able to disprove the video as of yet, we can conclude that this may very well be Jason Statham's old friend.
Because nobody has been able to definitively disprove that the fisheye lensed video is a megalodon,
it may very well be a megalodon. This is where I had to stop. I was watching this video casually and I had to stop. This is... Dude, this video is so perfect. Like, the original video I was reacting to is so perfectly crafted to, like, it almost, like, seems like they were working with me. Like, they made the video specifically for me. I mean, it's just so it's just so bad. While taking itself so seriously. Some of these Megalodon things are bad, but they felt... The problem with the newer Megalodon reacts is they feel AI generated. They feel incredibly low effort. This one felt high effort. Like someone put their heart and soul to this video and it just fucking sucked. And that was hilarious. I miss when people put a lot of effort into these Megalodon proofs and they were terrible. Nowadays, they just like spend 10 minutes AI generating a script and images and put it together and it's bad, but it's supposed to be bad. They don't care. It was way more fun when they tried.
And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about this too? It's literally from a Mythbusters episode. Yeah. It's literally from a Mythbusters episode. It is an episode of Mythbusters where they test how strong the jaw of a megalodon would be. This guy used this as his number 2 evidence in why the megalodon still exists. It is literally in an episode of Mythbusters.
Show the surface corpse of a dead shark. That much is clear, but what's
How is that much clear? You can see wrinkles. You can literally see this glaze of the sun on the fucking plastic balloon animal. Where did you get this story? It's literally from a myth. He's just making things up.
You were so calm while angry back then. You know why? Because I lived in a place that had other people. Now I live in an apartment. I can just yell anytime I want and it doesn't matter. Back then I had to like quiet yell because there were people in the other room. So I had to be like, now I can just be like, this is fucking stupid. Like I can just make noise. I don't know if that has improved my content or made my content worse, but it's why I can yell now.
Saying a marine biologist found it. It literally is from you can watch the episode of Mythbusters and watch them build it. Coelacanth is my favorite fish.
Oh yeah, my favorite fish at the time was the coelacanth.
And the story of the...
I feel like being quiet with context now is funnier. It's so funny seeing 2 of you react to a blow-up shark. Okay, wait, this is a genuine criticism of my modern reacting. Let's talk about it. I think I talk too much. Do I talk too much? But I feel like that's just the change in YouTube and content creation in general, that it's so like zoomered, talk, you know, you just have to have every second be entertaining. There are some really good comedic pauses that I think make this video incredibly funny. Like when the blow-up animal first shows up and I just put my head in my hands, that is so much funnier than anything I could have said. Nowadays, I think I would have started just like ranting about the balloon animal. Like, yeah, my words are good, but we need to... Okay, Renz, here's the problem, right? That appeals to a core audience of people who like fish and like hearing about fish. And that's good, and I consistently keep that audience, and I am happy with that audience. Speaking as an expert about a topic, great. But what made this video so viral, I think, and what made it so appealing to so many people is that it was incredibly funny. It was just fun to watch whether you cared about fish or not. And I think a lot of my modern videos lack that to a degree, where you have to really care about fish, or my personality, which is pretty rare, to actually enjoy the videos. And so I want to learn better how I can do these type of comedic timings, things that make the video entertaining for people who aren't necessarily into fish, because this is just a great watch regardless.
The coelacanth is very cool, but it is not evidence that prehistoric creatures are still on Earth, okay? The megalodon is a surface-dwelling, gigantic shark that is a predator. The coelacanth is a deep sea in the center of the Indian or South African Ocean that lives in caves. They live in caves at the bottom of the ocean. How would anyone ever find them?
Is living proof that extinction is not necessarily the end.
No, it is. Extinction is the end. The coelacanth just didn't go extinct. It's just lives deep in the ocean in a place where we wouldn't interact with it much.
This is what I mean. Like my old nerdy because I was not a reactor, I wasn't a YouTuber. Being like, nope, no, it is the end. That's not a reaction I would ever have now. I wonder, maybe I should tone down reactions in videos a bit. I might have gotten a bit too YouTuber pilled. Because that's just a funny reaction. I don't think I would ever do that now. Now you should get louder. You're right, I haven't tried just yelling for an entire video. Maybe I'll try that next time.
Debunking any claim that the coelacanth no longer existed.
There were no claims. No one knew shit. No one cared about the coelacanth.
Okay, at least I had the exact same thought and was about to pause and talk about that, but my past self said it. So good job, past self. This actually isn't as cringe as I thought it would be.
We found a fossil, or a couple fossils, in rocks 65 million years or older. And we said, okay, so this fish probably went extinct 65 million years ago. And then we found one. It's not that unlikely. It lives in a deep sea cave. How often do humans go into deep sea caves?
Even science gets it wrong sometimes. The rediscovery of this long missing species has led many.
Oh, don't use my favorite picture.
And was particularly fond.
It is crazy that my equipment's the exact same. I've upgraded my camera, as you can maybe tell, but my microphone and my headphones are the exact same. The only thing that's changed is I got a better camera like 2 years ago.
It is claimed that the possibility of the Meg's survival is less than 1%.
Where do you get the number less than 1% from? Less than 1% chance that the megalodon is... You know why? You know where he got that number from? You know where he got that number from? He asked, or someone asked a bunch of scientists, is the megalodon extinct? And everyone said yes. And they said, well, can you say that for 100% certainty? And of course, there's science and say, well, no, we can't 100% say it, obviously. There's no way to sufficiently prove that something is extinct. And he's like, boom, less than 1% chance it might still be alive.
Also, 0 is less than 1%. I did not think about this at the time. You roll your R's so much. Well, I speak 2 languages that roll almost all of their R's, so...
They didn't say they could 100% prove it.
Who's to say that the ultimate aquatic predator can't do the same?
Me, I am. I say that. Me and every other scientist to ever work with animals would say that a large apex predator is significantly less capable of adapting to new environments than small animals are. Not to mention, the coelacanth didn't adapt. It's always lived in deep ocean caves. Literally nothing changed. You were implying that the greatest apex predator in the ocean, not the greatest, mosasaur is better than a megalodon, adapted to new temperatures, new pressures, new food sources, no sunlight. And your reason for it is, well, the coelacanth has stayed in the same place for a long time, so clearly it's possible.
What a cohesive argument, man. I swear I don't make cohesive arguments like that anymore. I need to study. I need to start taking notes, because that was an incredibly cohesive argument, comparing the fact that the coelacanth has remained unchanged and they're trying to use it as evidence that something has changed.
He's a vegan now. Actually...
No, it's not. Nope. No. The megalodon is not a vegan. You cannot sustain a giant shark on plants. If he says the line, only 15% of our ocean is explored. Who else knows what could be in there?
Could easily be mistaken as a breeding ground for sharks.
Don't say it.
Of planet
Oh
Earth
my
is
God.
made up of water.
Don't say
with
it.
Our oceans taken up
Don't
a vast
say it.
361.9
Don't say it.
million
Don't say the
square
explored
kilometers,
line.
all teeming with life.
Don't
In
say
every
it.
single one of our 5 oceans, there exist delicate ecosystems filled with fish, algae, sharks, and more. But despite the thousands of oceanographers, geographers, and others who've dedicated their lives to exploring these hidden worlds, there's a lot more left to discover. Only 15% of Earth's oceans have been explored, meaning that there's an incredible...
I knew it was going there.
This ended up being a conservative. This ended up being like one of the videos that gave the most credit to ocean exploration. I would react to future videos that would say like 5% or 10%. I think I heard like less than 1% once during a react. This ended up, I didn't know it at the time how good I had it. This video ended up being pretty good in terms of ocean exploration.
It always goes there. That's not an argument. I hate this argument so much. There's nothing there. There's no life. We can easily tell that with satellites and mapping and imagery. We don't need to explore the giant open ocean where there's absolutely nothing.
Every day,
My quiet yelling is so funny.
Old species once believed to be lost
Maybe I need to get roommates again.
are being rediscovered.
The hot water does not go deep sea enough to support a fucking megalodon.
Without necessarily having...
He's just putting things on the screen to make it seem like he knows what he's talking about. I don't even think he knows what thermohaline means.
Megalodon teeth can grow up to 8.
That's a banger. It does go through the Mariana Trench area, the warm water. It does not go down into the Mariana Trench. And why the salinity is relevant whatsoever, I don't know. This is definitely an example of like Googling ocean currents and just putting one of the charts up on there.
I don't even think...
Are there actually insects down there? I meant that new species of insects were being discovered, not that they were necessarily being discovered at the bottom of the trench. Because he was saying, and new species are discovered all the time, and I was just saying, like, yeah, like insects and shit. The last time that like a megafauna was defined as a new species, was actually found as a new species, was a really long time ago. There are new net megafauna species, but they're usually defined by like things that we didn't know were separate species. But they looked, because they look so similar, like giraffes. We somewhat recently found out there's a couple different species of giraffe. They all look really similar. No one would have ever known that they were independent breeding populations unless we studied it closely. The last time that we actually found a new megafauna, I mean, it had to have been a long time ago. I don't know the exact date, but
18 centimeters
most of the new species found nowadays are genetics.
This just seems like facts about megalodons.
How is it that so many teeth are being discovered if the meg is genuinely extinct?
Yeah. No, I'm following. No, you know what? I'm with him on this one.
One of a handful of bones in their entire skeleton. It makes...
The stock footage is incredibly funny. This is what I miss about these videos. They just don't make them like they used to. Like this, they paid a lot of money for all this stock footage. They put this video together professionally. They probably had a script team. They hired a voice editor. They had a regular editor who paid for a bunch of stock footage to go into the video. This video cost money to make, and they were hoping to get money out of it. Nowadays, it's just, everything is just AI generated. And I'm not even horribly like opposed to AI generating some stuff to save some costs, but it has totally taken the soul out of these videos. I liked my conspiracy theories high effort.
Yep.
Still, it also suggests that there could in theory be a whole new group of megalodons eating well in the depths of the ocean.
No, it doesn't. How does it suggest that at all? What is it? What is it? You just jumped over? No. There's nothing.
That was a draw the rest of the fucking owl moment. Have you guys seen that meme? It's like step 1, draw the beak. Step 2, draw the eyes. Step 3, draw the rest of the fucking owl. And it's just a high quality owl.
There's lots of teeth. Therefore, there's a surviving modern-day megalodon species living in the deep ocean. Bones and fossils, they're not white. Megalodon teeth that you find are not white. Because they've like calcified or oxidized or whatever the word for it is. So you would know if they were new.
I still don't know the word for it, by the way. But yeah, the point is you can date fossils pretty accurately.
You would know, and they're not.
Such a huge bite could only be the work of a megalodon or a very, very hungry large fish, but probably the meg. Furthermore...
No, not probably the meg. He slips that in. At the end of every one, he gives like barely the...
I don't think I knew what the term gaslighting was at the time, but I'm pretty sure this is gaslighting. I think the guy is just like saying words and then he'll randomly slip in some things to try and convince you, to just slowly make you think that you believe it.
The tiniest dumb, not even real evidence, and at the end he's like, well, it's probably the megalodon. I mean, it could be something, but it's probably the megalodon. Is he really about to show me a photo from 1942?
German soldiers piloting 2 U-boats in Cape Town, South Africa, happened to catch a photograph
I got nothing. He's right. That's it. That is the Megalodon.
I think I talked about this. I didn't even know at the time that this photo was provably photoshopped. The original photo exists out there and you can see it, and I've seen it in other reacts. The original photo without the fins in the photo exists out there. Also, the scale is completely wrong, but the original photo without the Photoshop does exist. And I didn't even know this at the time, so I just talked about how ridiculous it was.
Anytime there's something like aliens, UFOs, things we don't know about, it's always the Mariana Trench because it's just so deep we don't know.
Trench in the world. The Mariana Trench is the ultimate hiding place for underwater creatures who don't want to be bothered by the human world.
No, it's actually not the ultimate hiding place. It's cold, it's extremely high pressure, and there's nothing to eat. It is actually probably one of the worst hiding places you could do. It's like if you played hide and seek with your friends and dug up a grave, crawled into the tombstone, and then covered yourself up and be like, yeah, this is a great hiding place. I can't breathe.
Hidden away in the Pacific Ocean, the farthest known depth.
Man, these metaphors. I think I try to like jump and instantly criticize in the most obvious way nowadays when I watch something like this, whereas I feel like in the old days I was more likely to take my time, think of a metaphor, think of a joke. I think I just need to take it a little slower when I react to stuff. I think I'll just have a better time. I think I am a somewhat funny person and I can come up with these lines that people like, but I need a second. I can't just panic and instantly go for it, you know?
Yep.
He's also
I can't believe you're learning from your old self. I mean, this is still my most successful video by far. I have a couple videos, 4 videos over 1 million views, but this one is the only one over 2 million, and it's at 6 million. So it's like, there's clearly something about this video that just hit. So it's not a bad thing to go back and study it and see what I did. It was a complete accident, but you know,
multiple times said marine biologists say, and then immediately after said, well, we don't actually know the name of them and we can't trace the marine biologist who said this.
But there is one creature who is, as of yet, unaccounted.
Hey guys, did you know that a Harvard scientist of psychology said that I am the smartest person in the world? Don't ask.
See, nowadays I would never think of this, but if I did, I would say the Harvard psychologist said you should subscribe to me on YouTube, but I didn't even know anyone would ever be watching this video.
His name. I can't trace him, and I can't give you his name, but he said it.
If any skeptics are watching, feel free to explain this one in the comments below.
Just did. Get fucked.
This may be as close as we get to...
Is this the image?
It's a bunch of rocks, bro. It's an island chain. This one still makes me laugh. This saying this is a shark is so funny. Like, look at this comedic pause. Bro just doesn't do it like he used to. I gotta throw more comedic pauses in my YouTube videos.
This looks like the Hawaiian Islands. Is that not just Hawaii?
Extreme practicing your comedic pauses. We're gonna get better, chat. We're gonna slowly work on my reacts until they get better.
I've got a crazy theory. It was the 1800s, and they still were healing people. If you went to the doctor with a cold, they prescribed you cocaine. Okay? So maybe, just maybe, the scientists didn't really know what they were talking about, you know? Maybe. Just a thought.
I think there's a whole proof article debunking the fact that, well, yeah, cocaine does cure the cold. That's very true. It just has some side effects. There's a whole like article written debunking the way that they dated those teeth and why it doesn't make any sense.
Stop there. There's an image of a fish in the ocean. It has the typical body appearance and look of a great white. That's where you stop. That's just... Hey, you see this ladybug? It looks like a ladybug. It acts like a ladybug. It has the pattern of a ladybug. It's a megalodon. Like, this is the very first point I made when we started watching this video, is you can't come up with size measurements in the open ocean. It's just always arbitrary.
Wait, the video just ends? Okay. I will say my outros got better. My outros definitely improved. Because the video just ended. But that might be the only thing I've gotten better at. I've definitely got better at science communication. Wow, that was interesting. That broke my brain a little bit. including some more pauses when I talk about things, some better comedic timing could potentially benefit me. So I'm going to try that going forward. Yelling in lowercase was funny, but I don't know if that's something I should do going forward. We'll see. All right. That is it for today's stream.